All right, so you guys have seen the headlines. There's probably some of them that are popped up at the edge of the screen right now for you. Make $1,000 turn into $10,000. How to make $100,000 a year on your side hustle. Turn $0 into $1,000 on a one weekend. Make $4,000 a month just going to yard sales, that kind of stuff. There's all kinds of ways to get rich quick and flip money and make some money flipping stuff. I'm going to show you guys a little bit of reality, and I'm going to show you guys how I did this past year, 2021, on trying to turn 50 bucks into as much as I could have. Okay, so you guys remember, and if not, I'll put a little link up over here where you can go back and watch the video back from about a year ago, the beginning of 2021, when I started us off with the $50 challenge. And I pulled out 50 bucks and I said, hey, let's see how far we can make this money go this year. And that includes just buying car parts, selling car parts, however you got to do it with dealing with your car junk, that kind of stuff. What can we turn 50 bucks into? So the big idea here today in this video is we're going to take, first of all, the idea that, hey, there's money out there to be made and it's fun. If you're a dude like me, you like working on the cars, you like dealing with this stuff, I find it fun. The other big idea, we're going to find out how much money I turned my $50 into last year, but you got to wait till the end of the video to see that. And I want to find out who's in for 2022. So before I lose you, put a comment down there if you think, hey, I want to get in on this. I'm going to see how much money I can turn this into. Throw a comment down there below. Let me know what you got planned, what you got going. Let's get into a little bit about ways that we can make money selling our car parts and that kind of stuff. The first one and the easiest one I think that's out there is using going to swap meets, okay? I'll put a link up here to a swap meet or two that I went to this past year. And again, with all the stuff going on, the swap meets were kind of lame, a little bit hard to get stuff, a lot of people there, but I did pretty well at some of them. And the way you do it, you just go through the garage, you load stuff up. I'm just sitting here in my garage right now and I can see a set of wheels, 2 tires that can go, some old tools. I know I got a bunch of stuff in the cabinet over there, so an old carburetor, stuff that I'm not going to use, that I can box up, take it to the swap meet, and I can flip that for some bucks, okay? Usually a swap meet, it costs you the price for the tank of gas, probably maybe 30 bucks or so to enter, but that's a good way to get some cash. Another thing, you show up to the swap meet early, cruise around a little bit, look for those deals, look for that thing. A couple years ago I was walking and I saw something for like $2 that I knew could be worth a lot more, and I said, hey, I'll give you $2 for that. Grabbed it, walked over, set it in my booth. The first guy that came up and offered me 40 bucks, I said, here you go, I'll take it. So I sold the thing for the 40 bucks, made 38 bucks without even trying. So get there early, look around, maybe you can get some stuff to flip in your booth right there, but it's worth it, it's fun. And hey, you know what? You might meet a few people too. All right, let's see, the other ways that we can make money and turn 50 bucks into something big. You can go onto Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace. That's something I do all the time. I'm always cruising there looking for a deal. And when something good comes up, hey, you put in there, is it still available? Don't put that. People hate that. Hey, I'm interested. I got cash, something like that. When can I meet you? That sort of thing. And then go look for it. And never pay full price, right? Unless you're buying something from me. You should always be able to get something at a little bit of a bargain when they list something on Marketplace or Craigslist. Hey, be safe. Obviously, if you're out doing that, you're meeting people. Try to go somewhere that's that you trust. Be around people you trust. Bring somebody with you. Always tell somebody where you're going to be, because there's always weirdos out there on the internet. Some examples of stuff. I needed some wheel spacers for my Jeep at the beginning of last year. That's kind of what started this off. So I spent my 50 bucks on a set of wheel spacers. Turns out they didn't fit right on the Jeep, so I just turned around and listed them. I think for 100 bucks. Maybe I got 80 bucks for them, but that started, right? So now I got 80 bucks, and then we went out and started going spending from there. And then mainly I just, it's just something I found on Facebook Marketplace. Other ways that a person can go out there and make a few bucks flipping the car parts, you can sell the stuff online, right? It's kind of a pain. I'm going to be honest, I have an eBay store. I haven't used it in a while because, man, it's a pain. But it's possible to do. If you have the patience, and you have the time, and you have the means, it's not that hard to throw stuff on eBay, put a description, boom, put it out there. And man, there's always an opportunity to go pick something up cheap at a flea market, swap meet, something like that. Throw that thing on eBay, especially if it's something super collectible, right? You get like a vintage, old car magazine you see, or, some old license plates or something that you can pick up real cheap. Boom, make a few bucks, pretty easy to ship. I generally try to keep my eBay or anything I'm going to do like that where I have to ship just to small junk with big value, because by the time you pay a fee and you deal with it and blah 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 blah, you don't want to turn a $10 profit on something. It's just not worth it to me. So little stuff with big value, you can sell it online. Big junk or you know, things you're not real sure of, take it to the swap meet, put it on Facebook, put it on Craigslist, try to make a few bucks on it. Okay, so let's talk about how I did. Okay, so we started off last year. I already told you how this thing started with a set of wheel spacers. Here's my list. I got all of the money I spent in this $50 challenge from 2021. And I'm going to walk through some of these things. I'm going to give you an idea of how I made my money last year. So I told you about the wheel spacers. There it is. 85 bucks is what I sold them for. I turned that money around, I put it in my pocket, and went and I bought bunch of seats. Okay, somebody had bought a like a shuttle bus, like an airport shuttle bus kind of thing, wanted to turn it into something else, so they gutted all the seats and seat belts out of there, and I got a really good deal on a bunch of seats. Now, my challenge was storing them. If I had more place to store them, I would have probably got more, but I kind of had to just get them and get what I could, and then try to get rid of them as fast as I could. And I did pretty good on those. I sold a bunch of sets of those seats. I also kept some, put some in my Jeep. I like them a lot. But I'll tell you, little hint, something I made big money on were the seat belts. I didn't even think about that, but I got a set of seat belts with every one of those seats, and I sold them at a swap meet. Let me see here. Yeah, I got 100 bucks for the box of, it wasn't even all the seat belts. I took them out, I used them in all the vehicles I needed, saved a couple, and I had a box of leftovers and got 100 bucks for them at a swap meet. You know, he did all right because he had a lot of meat on the bone if he wanted to flip them. I did all right because I was happy to get that much money for him. Let's see some other stuff. I took a gamble at a swap meet. There was a set of coilover shocks that I thought might work for my car, and I got them home and they didn't work. But you know what? I got 80 bucks in them. So I just checked them. They didn't fit. I took a picture, threw it on Facebook Marketplace that day, sold them 130 bucks. No, another thing, right? So I'm scrolling Facebook Marketplace, and here's a free seat for a Jeep, a back seat for a Jeep, an actual CJ seat that was small, not like the later model TJ seat that I stuffed into the back of my CJ. I went and looked at it. The thing's in great shape. Black leather, looks good. Free. Took it, brought it home, put it in my Jeep, put the TJ seat that I had on there for sale. The dude jumped on it, was happy to get it. 50 bucks. He got it. I got 50 bucks. Everybody wins, right? Some other things. You know, I did a lot of wheeling and dealing last year, buying and selling things that was outside of this $50 challenge. I'll tell you that right now. But I tried to keep track of where I was with the money in that challenge. Some of the fuzzy things, like I bought an engine and transmission for my Jeep. It's a Chevy V6, and it came with a transmission that I couldn't really use in it. So I bought it, and then I sold the transmission. Boom, 100 bucks extra in my pocket right there, right? Okay, so let's talk about how I did. When you add up all of the money I spent, starting with that $50, and then you subtract that from the total I got, from the things I bought with that money I was earning along the way, the amount of money I made was 830 bucks. I know, right? It wasn't $1,000 in a weekend, and it wasn't $100,000 in a year or anything like that. It's 830 bucks. And the fact is, I basically quit in August because I had 830 bucks at that point, and I spent it all. I spent it all because I bought a new used, kind of a beater truck. I bought a Chevy pickup. I thought I got a pretty good deal on it, but I had to spend all the money on it. I had to spend all my money that I had set aside for a truck on the truck, and it needed a set of tires. So, you know, 830 bucks sure came in handy when I needed to fork out the cash, put a set of tires on the thing. Piece of cake, no questions asked. I was able to get the truck that I wanted without having to pass because I had the money for it and didn't need to save some for tires. So that worked out pretty good. All right, so where are we going with this, all right? Well, I'll tell you where we're going with it. It's a brand new year, right? January 2022. I got a pocket full of change money here, but in it, I also have my 50 bucks. My 50 bucks for 2022. I'm going to start. I've already started looking, keep my eye out for something I can get for that 50. And I can tell you right now, February, the first weekend of February, Tri-State Swap Meet up in Denver, Colorado. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be selling stuff, and you bet I'm going to be out there shopping, finding something to turn this $50 into who knows how much. This year, what are my goals? Well, I'd like to see that turn into a few $1,000 bucks. I want to go bigger. I want to continue that. You know, where I was in August with 830 bucks. Hey, I'll tell you, just the other day on Facebook Marketplace, I'm hanging out lunchtime at work, and I go, hey, look, here's the deal of the day. $750 for an old Ford pickup, ran, drove, four-wheel drive. You know, it wasn't prettiest, but it ran and drove, had a clean title. Everything you could sell for $2,500 without even thinking about it. So if I had that $750 in my pocket, I would have been able to get it and flip it and move on. But I'm looking forward to doing that this year. I'm looking forward to flipping some vehicles if I can get into it and turning that money into something big. Okay? All right. So are you in? You going to join me? Let's see what you got. Put down your comments down below. I'd love to see you join the challenge, join the community. Thanks for supporting Bad Hombre Garage. We'll see you guys later.